Hello, everybody. So, podcast for this assignment. So, what you guys need to do is start by factoring out the thing that they have in common. So, in this one, this is 6 times x plus 7 times x. This term and this term both have 1x in common. So, you're going to pull that x out. You're going to factor it out. Oops, that mark didn't need to be there. If you pretended to divide, you're not dividing, you're factoring, but if you pretended to divide each one by the same thing, you'd be left with 6x plus 7, and that's what belongs in here. As a check, if you multiply this back in to both pieces, you should get this what you started with, and you would. You get 6x squared plus 7x. So, just to say it and all that mess, x times 6x plus 7 is your final answer. Okay. This one has a single x in common. Remember, that's 2x, or 2 times x, plus 9 times x times x. So each one has a single x that can be removed. If you remove that x, you have a 2. If you remove an x, you have a 9x. This is your final answer. Okay. Now in this, it's a little bit more complicated. I think 9 will divide into both of these. So 9 is what's in common. That if I back up, and if I were to go 3 times 9x minus 9 times 8, there's a 9 that's in common. And you're going to pull that 9 out front. So it's been removed. So you're left with a 3x minus 8. Okay. This has a 2 in common. It's the number that will divide into both of these. If I divide that by 2, I get 2. Divide that by 2, I get 5x. Okay? This is your final answer. Bringing both ideas together, and some of these other ones, there'll be numbers and letters that'll be in common. In this one, it looks just like a -2 would be in common. So if you pretended to divide by -2, you'd get 3, excuse me, plus 8x to the 4th. Okay? So you could pull the negative out. Both of them change sign. Okay? So here, there's a 3 that'll divide into both of these, and an x that'll divide into both of these. And I'm stressing that you're pretending that you're dividing. The 3 would reduce and give you a -5. The x would reduce and leave you x to the 4th. Because remember, you're dividing, you subtract your exponents. Plus, the 3 would cancel into 1, and so would the x cancel to 1, plus 1. That plus 1 is important that it's there. Okay? Sorry, let me get a drink again. So in the next one, it looks like there's a negative that each one has, as well as, let's see, what is it? Oops. 3 times 8 is 24, and 6 times 8? 6 times 8 is 40. No, it's 48. So it would be, oh no, 6 times 8, God. 7 times 8 is 56. 6 times 8 is 48, right? Yeah, I had that right. So what's 42? 7 times 6 is 42. So we don't want to use 8. We want to use 4 and 6. That way there's a 6 that each one has. Okay, so that mess, there's a -6 that each one has. So it's -6 times 4. And there's, okay, this is x times x times x times x. That's x times x times x. There are 3 x's each one has. Minus 7 times 6, x cubed. So there's a -6 that's going to pull out, as well as an x cubed that's going to pull out. So you'd be left with a 4 and an x, a minus, a 7. Oops, sorry, it's a plus because you pulled the negative out. You pulled the negative out. That's right, you did. So it's a plus 7. Okay. Whew. That one seemed a little more painful than I expected. All right. So there's a negative that each one has. We got that. This is 3 times 2, and this is 3 times 9. Okay, so there's a 3 that each can come out, so a negative 3, and a negative 3x cubed. If you pretended, let me get rid of this. If you pretended to divide each one by negative 3x cubed and reduce it, so that would give you a 2x to the first minus, that's a plus because the two negatives make a positive, plus 9, that's it. That'd be your final answer, that whole thing. Okay? So that's the first assignment. Thank you guys for your time. Have yourself a great one.